Angel, there must be some part of you inside that still remembers who you are.
His boyfriend is dead.
Man, honestly, last episode into this episode, you really get the whole mindset of punishing him by making him good, don't you? I'm like, I want to punish this guy. How do I do it?
But I think I'm finally ready.
So interesting, by the way, because I didn't mention it so much in last episode's video. And quite honestly, like, there was a lot going on. Right. But as I was like editing it last episode, there was a lot of emphasis on Buffy again having to put aside her emotions, and actually rewatching it in the edit, it was really lovely to see her put that into practice. So Giles had a conversation where he kind of said that to her. Then she put that into practice. Obviously, when what happened, Giles lost control of his emotions, absolutely validly so, right? It was very intense. But then she came in and, you know, she hit him to get him out of it, right? And there was emotion there too. But I think her coming in and being that emotional stability to Giles into the situation and putting aside her feelings was great. And really, I think last episode, what goes a little bit unnoticed, because it's not super overt, it's just kind of littered through the episode, is her emotional control improving. And this situation and the Angel thing really doing a number on her ability to kind of put her emotions aside to get whatever needs to get done. Last episode was a really good example of that, actually. Guys, we gotta start getting like bird calls going or something. Do you know what I mean?
My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Do you get as creeped out as we've all been?
Buffy, you're sick.
Half the school's out with this flu. We're all concerned about how gross you look.
Buddy.
I'm touched.
Come on, one night of rest is not gonna kill you.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
It might kill somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still the Slayer. As long as I am, Angel's not gonna kill anybody else.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Wow. Jeez.
Hey, not feeling well, lover?
Don't call her that. Come on, Buffy. Come on, Buffy. Where's everyone gone? I'm not going to give him a kick in. No, doesn't deserve it. Oh, mate. Dude, this episode started so real.
This does not look good for our heroine.
Yes! Beat him! Beat him! Again, the team dynamic coming into play. A weaker Slayer that might have...
We'll have to do this again sometime.
A scenario in which the Slayer, honestly, might have died.
I told you guys to leave.
If not for those guys. And together they're stronger. Dude, they are not letting up on the Angel thing though, huh? He just turns up. Well done.
Didn't fell. She's sick. Make it better.
Yeah, well done, mate. Good advice. You know, I'll be honest with you, mate. Buffy coming into a hospital and the episode being called Killed by Death is not ideal.
I'll call Giles, tell him what happened.
How is Giles doing?
I won't let us in there.
Miss Summers?
Yes.
I'm Dr. Wilkes.
Whoa, you identified her real quick.
The vampires! I need to kill the vampires!
Shh.
We'll get to those vampires later. It's best to play along.
Well done, mate.
Listen.
Where's Oz? How's Oz doing? How's he doing with the whole, you know, werewolf thing? We gotta keep things safe without the Slayer.
When she was 8, her cousin Celia died in a hospital.
Oh, okay.
I really appreciate the way you look out for her.
We're very fond of her.
Oh, yeah.
I hope I'm not out of line, but
Get in the line, alright?
say how sorry I am about that teacher, Miss Calendar.
Oh,
Buffy's been so down since it happened. I mean, she never gets sick. Well, if you need anything.
oh, that's very sweet.
Thank you.
He is kind of alone, and like he's got the gang around him, but respectfully, genuinely, they are all kids, you know. He's not got many friends of like age, and he's just gone through something really intense. He's lost someone he loved. And so it's really nice, really lovely seeing Joyce kind of reach out a hand a little bit.
Buffy's not in here for cosmetic surgery.
No, but while she's in here, she might as well get that thing done.
Do you think Angel will attack Buffy?
Am I the only one that's noticed that thing?
Buddy, shut the fuck up. Okay. Just pretend, just go back to sleep, mate. Just ignore it happened, you know what I mean? Let him go. Let him go. Okay. I did nearly say, right, because the episode's what, called Killed by Death? And I was like, oh, we're going to have like an embodiment of death. And I was like, don't be silly, Tyler. That's a bit intense for like season 2, right? But hello, we're on board. Okay, he's got a top hat. Of course he does. We got a stylish death. I'm making a lot of assumptions. That's fair. Interesting. Is this back in time with Celia? Okay, a dream. Dude, you probably can't. I'd close the door. No, thank you. I don't need that. Oh, a very creepy man. Why are you funneling your bottle?
You lose the young ones.
Raising their temperature is what they
If you have a problem with my methods,
Oh, what's he doing? Go on, let's well, okay, buddy.
He comes at night.
Does he? Right.
The grown-ups don't see him.
Okay.
He'll come back for us.
That is not information you want just loaded on you.
Death.
Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, you turn around, first of all, like, if you turn around and there's two kids just there, just immediately there, and they start talking, oh, hi, hello, how you doing? Just like, death. That's enough for me. Do you know what I mean? And then they start talking about death. I'm like, actually, mate, not my problem. Back away.
Why don't you come back during the day? Oh, gee, no, I guess you can't.
Yes, rinse him. This is how Xander needs to be wielding his toxicity, man. Like, use it for good. But yeah, it's wild that Angel is just swanning into places. He's everywhere, isn't he? It's like every single... It's interesting because I do feel like before he turned into Angelus, his touch on the show was very light. He was only in it every so often. When he was, it was just obviously as a, you know, an appendage to Buffy. Very light touch. And it's like as he's turned into Angelus, especially as we're nearing the end of season 2, he's just constantly here. Which is really interesting because I think it does kind of manufacture this sense of danger that's always there. He can turn up anytime, and he does, and we're shown that. And I think on top of the danger that I guess is introduced last episode and the escalation of such, adding on to that in this episode and the way that he just keeps turning up, it's scary. It's scary. And I think what it does last episode is that it does give you the impression that anyone can die.
If I decide to walk into Buffy's room, do you think for one microsecond that you could stop me? But I'm kind of curious to find out. You game? You still love her.
Yeah, but I do like the attitude he's giving you, I'll be honest with you.
It must just eat you up that I got there first.
Man, he just uses everything, doesn't he? Every sadistic little thing he's ever thought. Anything he can use, he just spurts it out. That's also what I feel like is this element of danger now that there is with Angel, is that he will use anything. And he will say anything. Anything you can think of. Any kind of like horrible thing. Any sadistic kind of act that he can do. It's just kind of going to all of those places. I like it. I think the sense of danger is awesome. I said in a comment actually last episode, I replied to someone, how I do think if you're comparing like Angelus with the Master in season 1, he trumps him, honestly. Like the Master was good, but I think in the way that it invests you and the danger with Angelus is so much higher. Like I genuinely don't say that to poop on the Master in season 1. I only say it to kind of laud what they've done with Angelus in season 2. Yeah, his performance there was really good. As he was kind of squaring up to Angelus, you could hear the unsteady breath and the fear in it, right? Which is fair. But yeah, good on him. He really translated that in the performance.
You saved me. Thank you, Power Girl.
Is this Buffy and Celia? Yeah. What's going on with that doctor?
It's like your fever's gone down.
Thanks for having me.
That's a strong virus you have.
Is that the same virus the kids have?
Quick note, but I misinterpreted this line. By kids she meant in the hospital, but my initial interpretation was that she meant the kids her age at Sunnydale. I'm keeping this in because despite the mix-up, I think my point is still applicable to the episode. That's a good question, because I was going to say, and I stopped myself because I was like, not really relevant, because what I was going to say was that if they hadn't established there was a flu going around the school, I would have said when she was getting ill, I wonder whether whatever's going on with her is because she's just so run down. There's been so much happening, and I think to top it off last episode, and as horrible as that was, I think Buffy took a lot of that blame on herself and how she acted at the end of Innocence and the decision she made not to kill Angel because she couldn't, and the consequences of that last episode and the fact that it butterfly effect meant that Jenny died, right? I think it's unfair of her to, you know, put that all on herself, right? You can't do that. It's absolutely down to Angelus. Angelus did that, he's to blame, not you. but I can understand as a human how she would take that on herself, right? And just everything. Obviously, the very personal, very intense, traumatic experience that she had. Falling in love with Angel and what that got to, and sleeping together, and then obviously what happened, and just everything. I think, you know, when we do go through intense emotional periods, when we lose someone, when we beaten down by life, whatever might happen, sometimes it can manifest itself and our body just kind of needs to reset a little bit. And I think that question there, and the way the doctor didn't answer it as well, we didn't get a chance, right, Giles, and Xander came, but I'm revisiting my thought, because I do wonder whether it's that actually, and it's not the flu perhaps that is going around the school, or maybe it's something to do with whatever's going on at this hospital. I don't know, but yeah, interesting all the same.
Rest.
And actually, sorry to add, it would be interesting if it is this emotional toil that she's going through that's like running her down a little bit, because like my natural reaction to that would be like, she needs to reset, she needs, you know, a little bit of time to just set that right and get herself, you know, take a bit of time out, but she can't. And that's the pain of the Slayer, that is the duty of the Slayer, right? That's the point, is that she can't, she has to just get over that. And I think it kind of reminds me at this moment how intense it is being the Slayer, how hard the job is, and the things she has to just put up with to do her job. Because as this episode is kind of more clearly doing, you know, less subtly doing, is like, what happens if during this time of intense strife with Angelus wreaking havoc, what happens if the Slayer of Buffy's out of action? She can't be.
Not to be outdone. Homework.
Yeah, it just really sets in my mind this idea of Buffy just going through the ringer and being wrung out a little bit, and the emotional and physical toll that it's taken on this young girl being the Slayer.
I did all your assignments. All you have to do is sign your name.
Chocolate means nothing to me.
Willow, beautiful.
I was out of the loop on gifts.
Traditional
Maybe just be nice, mate.
among people. Grapes.
Ah, are they good ones? Show me.
Did you pass the night well enough?
Mate, I'll tell you right now, if you get me like a plump, juicy grape that's like, do you know what I mean? Like, you bite into it and it's solid, but it gives. Do you know what I mean? And it's juicy. Oh, God, come on. Man, honestly, when you find like it's not important. It's not important. I like grapes. I do. I found out apparently they're poisonous for you. I didn't realise. Because if I have like a tub of grapes, mate, I'll eat them all. If they're like a good tub, straight away. Done. Down the hatch, do you know what I mean? I don't feel good afterwards though. I do not feel good. Apparently you're not supposed to eat them all at once. I didn't know that, okay? I was probably a bit later in my life than I should have been when I found that information out. You're welcome. You probably all knew that. That's fair enough.
You know what? Let's take a walk.
Oh God, that is a rundown sign, guys. You need to redo that. It looked like an asylum. Mate, maybe it was. Maybe that's the shenanigans that are going on.
You know, a girl died here last night.
How?
The flu.
Right, okay, that's why she asked about, is it the flu that all the students have had? Yeah, maybe something's going around, maybe the doctor.
There's this Dr. Backer.
Yeah.
I'm giving them these experimental treatments.
Okay.
But you do know that you saw death.
Ooh, if he asks you to play chess, don't even do it.
Oh, I couldn't. Honestly, if Death challenged me to chess, I'm not good at chess. I like chess, used to like chess. I'd have to do it. Do you know what I mean, though? Do you know what, like, sorry, but if he challenged me to it, I'd be like, let's go. Make it happen. Have you ever seen those ones, right? Honestly, as long as I make sure it's like a life-size one, do you know what I mean? Like, you can walk around, like they're huge pieces, and you can just, mate. I couldn't resist, that's what I'm saying.
Are you being afraid of hospitals because your friend died and you want to conjure up a monster that you can fight so you can save everybody and not feel so helpless?
Have you actually ever heard of tact?
So is this the part where we say, what can we do to help?
Brad asked that, didn't you?
I swear Cordelia's got a little worse. Like, this episode, she's been kind of insufferable.
This is what happens when you're compassionate towards sick people.
What?
They take advantage of you.
No, maybe they're just sick.
Buffy almost died just to put you out.
Thank you.
You there, me here.
Mate, it's not good, is it, when Xander's correcting you and being the voice of reason? This is what I mean, dude. She's having a bad episode, that's what I'm saying. Oh, it's the bottle, man. The bottle fiddler.
I'm sensing a little less than full committal here.
He has just lost Jenny.
Cordelia may also be right. Death and disease are things, possibly the only things that Buffy cannot fight.
It's a good point.
Natural for her to try to create a defeatable opponent. Especially now, after Jenny.
But we live on the Hellmouth side. Kids may have seen a monster.
Well, sometimes small children do see something we adults don't. Us, our true selves, our hidden faces.
Oh?
The kids might be afraid of a regular person.
Ah.
Like the weird doctor.
Stanley Backer was his...
Oh, the bottle fiddler. I don't know, man. I'm pegging the bottle fiddler, this guy.
Most people think that security guards are just guys that failed the police exam. But that's not me. I did take the fireman's exam.
Oh, I love this guy in white collar.
That security guards are way sexier.
Well, this is where all the action is anyhow. I'm all the time restraining people.
Wow, okay.
Do you ever get scared?
Fear is for the weak. Dr. Backer's a great man. He understands
Oh.
the real truth about children.
Oh, you're a disciple then.
Sometimes they die.
Okay.
What was that?
So you have the most
Big penis.
perfect nose.
That's probably better to say. I'd have been useless in this situation. I'd have panicked. I'd have talked about his penis immediately. Do you know what I mean? It'd been doing shit like that and it'd have just egged me on.
Could you make just a little more with the touchy gropey?
Jealous?
I'm gonna stay here.
Your obsession with protecting Buffy. Have I told you how attractive that's not?
Delia, someone's gonna watch her back.
Yeah, well, I've seen you watch her back. Looking at her butt.
Jealous?
No, it was flirty when she said it. It was a little bit weird when you said it, mate. Like, she said it flirtily in reference to having to flirt with a security guard to get you out of trouble. You said it in a creepy way to try and get yourself off from looking at Buffy's bottom. It's not quite the same, is it, mate? That is not a top hat. Fair enough. No, that's fair. I was a bit distracted by his off teeth.
But there's also real heroes that fight monsters.
Can't fight death.
It is very much exploring this idea of her coming to grips with being able to feel powerless in certain situations and that being okay. It's interesting, I suppose, as a theme because to a certain extent that has been kind of how she's been with Angelus, right? And she's been, to a large extent, sort of powerless to do much against him, obviously, until the end of last episode and what happened and how she was like, okay, I've had time. I feel like I'm ready now. But I do feel like she's got to stop beating herself up. And that's kind of maybe the point of the episode is that, you know, she's got to stop beating herself up for fights that she is powerless against, fights that are stacked against her in a way that, or, you know, learning to appreciate that sometimes that's the case, but also accepting that and finding a way to overcome it in some way. Because I mean, we're talking about death, which is a very almost abstract thing, and this idea, I suppose, her personifying it some way. Is it real? Is it not? I think, you know, there's precedent to say, you know, there's something, whether it's death or not, who knows. But yeah, the theme seems to be feeling powerless against certain things and coming to terms with that and combating it in a different way, or learning to deal with that and combating it, right? And I think you can kind of, you know, transpose that idea onto her feelings in regards to Angel and how that's been stopping her from killing Angelus and her almost, you know, getting over that and having to deal with that, combined with, I suppose, last episodes and Giles talking about overcoming your emotions, putting them aside so you can do what you need to do, right? I think that episode, this episode together are kind of coming together in a way to allow her to work through more of the mental strain of the fight that's going on, right? And how important it is to kind of see that more, to appreciate that, but also learn to kind of insure yourself against the stress of that as well. Because I think that's the kind of maybe a little bit of the message of the episode as well, is that she's quite run down, which is, you know, absolutely valid. There's a certain conversation about, you know, mental stamina kind of at play, I think, as well. At least I'm reaching a little bit, but, you know, my interpretation of a little bit of what's going on is, because it is, right? If you take hit after hit after hit emotionally, it can be strenuous, and learning to deal with that is part of growing up, taking the hits and feeling horrible and then dealing with that, and then something else happening and then having to deal with that as well. And they all just stack up. And obviously tying into what I said before of like the Slayer can't be out of action, so she's got to learn a way to be able to deal with that, which I think, you know, like I say, is very allegorically about growing up. And as you become more independent, you therefore become more open to things coming at you from all sides, right? You don't necessarily have the guardians anymore, you don't have those safety nets, you go out into the world and things hit you, and you've got to learn to deal with that stuff, otherwise it'll eat you alive. And I think, you know, there's a certain argument to be made aside from this one to say that some things are so difficult that it's not your fault if you are consumed by it, right? And, you know, if it gets too far, then you should have help with that as well, in whatever form that might take, whether it's therapy, friends being around you, people to go to comfort you. But also, you know, it always helps to mentally have that stamina, that emotional stamina, to be able to just process that and have a healthy way to kind of take that in and process it, get it out again, so you can keep going, keep moving forward. I think especially when you're talking about the Slayer, right, it's a very unique situation. And as unfair as it is, like, she has to go above and beyond, right? Because if she's out of action for a second, if she has any time where she needs to recover, it puts other people in danger. That's just the reality, unfortunately. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how it's kind of arranging these fights that are a little bit more so less conventional fights, increasing her ability to process and deal with the mental strain as well, right? Yeah.
Dr. Backer has something of a rap sheet.
Risky procedures, a malpractice suit.
Oh God. I don't know. I'm inherently suspicious that this guy is the center of our troubles. Maybe it is, but... Oh, bless her. Well done. That's very sweet. I don't buy it. I don't know why. I feel like it's because he's setting him up, you know, as the bad guy too much. Admittedly, this looks very suspicious. Oh. Deathman, okay. Yeah, this is what I mean. Okay, yeah. We're back on the menu. That doesn't make sense. Invisible man. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, they were arranging too many dominoes. Too many building blocks against him.
Well, it would help if we knew what it was.
Sure job, mate.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why would I see it then and not last night?
A drug that you've been given? Who's injecting them with something, and then she was on something, and then she was off it, I think. So whatever Dr. Backer maybe was giving them was helping them see?
I'll check Backer's office, see if I can find any post-its marked why a monster might want me dead.
Because he was making people see the monster?
Xander and I used to play doctor all the time.
She's being literal. I didn't have the heart to tell her she was playing it wrong.
Wrong.
Cordy, you should go with Giles.
Why do I have to have... Good thinking.
Finish the thought.
Let's go, tact guy.
Nice, fair enough. Hey, we're still on the bottle. To be fair, it might not have been his bottle, actually. Sorry. Slander. I apologise. Might have been his torch, do you know what I mean? Torch fiddler. It's got a worse ring to it, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to call him the bottle fiddler. I do like it. Not the bottle fiddling. Do you know what I mean? Just the nickname.
Okay, didn't...
Hey, Buffy, what's in the back of there?
Dr. Backer was trying to inoculate the kids with a controlled dosage of the same virus they already had.
Yeah.
Oh, raising their temperatures to burn the fever out of them.
Okay.
So he really was trying to help the kids.
Till that thing stopped him.
Okay.
Wait, what does this one do?
It asks endless questions of those with whom it's supposed to be working so that nothing is getting done.
Boy, there's a demon for everything.
Well, it's not in here.
Oh.
It's called Der Kindestad.
Who is this?
Who is this?
This book says that he feeds off of children by sucking the life out of them. Why do I let you guys drag me into this stuff?
Mate, you're in it. No dragon. Oh, I wish though. Do you know what I mean? Like fire breathe me up.
Sitting atop his prey, pinning it down, it must be horrifying for the victim.
Oh.
Buffy?
You okay?
Hello?
Oh, her friend. Yeah. Did you see it? Oh God.
I don't know what to do, Celia!
Oh man. That is rough.
Come on, Celia!
Yeah, that would traumatize you, huh?
Buffy, what is...
Well, it just got personal.
Buffy, think about this.
Yeah, he was,
But how are you gonna fight this thing with a 107-degree temperature?
You're just gonna drink it straight up?
It'll kill you in an instant.
They really should put that on the label.
Well, that's why I got Willow, mate.
I'm not sure this was such a good idea.
Nice. Is Ryan staging an escape? Good on him. Oh, mate, he looks well creepy, doesn't he? The fingers. He is all finger. Hello. Why did you take that off? What was that about? What was that move? What's that?
You're coming with me.
Goddamn.
Sorry!
Yikes. Fair enough, though.
Come on now. You can do this the easy way.
Frogs, get him off of me!
Frogs! See, Willow knows. Willow knows, man. Amy, take notes.
Not her, the other one.
You don't know how to kill this thing.
Thought I might try violence.
Yeah. Has he got to take his hat off before he does it? Really, that's how you do it? Don't slaver. Come on. Oh. It didn't have to be that weird. Yeah, side effect of being like really ill. Chicken! That's what I'm talking about, man. Oh yeah, don't forget the hat, yeah. That's your biggest issue right now. A quick general note on the episode. There's definitely an undertone of SA and paedophilia, which I think feed into this theme of powerlessness. It's also connected itself to Buffy in a way that arrays her as powerless in regard to what happened to Celia and how her own powerlessness can affect those around her, which I think is presently applicable to her as the Slayer, and feeds into this idea of overcoming it. She does so here. Yes! What? Very reminiscent, isn't it, of Angelus killing Jenny? That's got to be on purpose. Interesting. Mate, good practice, innit, for later. You right?
You okay?
Actually, I think I'm starting to feel better.
You just needed to murder something. Hey, we've all been there.
Here you go, honey. Peanut butter and jelly, without the crust, just the way you like it.
And the juice?
It's worth mentioning that there's been a theme of this reclamation of childhood on Buffy's part this episode. I really like that she got this. It also takes the shape of a reclamation of power in a certain way in regard to Celia and what happened when she was younger and how that innocence was in some way stolen from her. This scene with Joyce and her babying Buffy really makes that point hit home. What this does is it allows Buffy to somewhat reclaim this lost innocence, at least in a symbolic sense, and to experience a taste of it here in this scene, which is particularly poignant considering this theme of growing up that constantly permeates the show, and how I've also talked about how she has to grow up faster, develop this mental stamina faster because of her role of Slayer. This scene symbolizes a brief reprieve from this. This is the rest that I was talking about. A breather, albeit a small one. A slice of childhood that was taken from her before she has to go back out into the world of Slayer and face Angelus. Be the adult once more. It's a really lovely moment, and like I say, I'm really happy she got it.
Oh, he drew you a picture. Nice.
Okay, fair enough. I do think it was the Giles line of it was touched on really, wasn't it? But his line about learning to feel powerless almost. I do stand by what I was saying, but I do like that. I stand by it in the sense that I do think this episode really gave a sense of Buffy being run down, and absolutely validly so. I think everything that's happened up to this point, she's got a right to feel that way, but unfortunately as the Slayer, she can't feel that way, right? And I think, yeah, Giles' line and the little focus on that idea of, you know, feeling powerless, and obviously we got that thing at the end of she just needed to fight something and personify it and have it personified and just, you know, take it out a little bit on something and actually beat the thing, which I think is important because we haven't really had that in a while, I think, right? Not since Innocence, I think. Obviously physicality, and that's obviously part of the fight, a big part of the fight, but I think all of these things that are happening and the trauma that it's inflicting on people in general in the show, but specifically on Buffy and the way that she has to kind of deal with that and unfortunately grow up quicker and endure against that, more so perhaps than those her age and some adults have to in a lot of ways, and how that's part of the fight too, and you know, she can't forget that. But anyway, that was Killed by Death. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support me further, drop a subscribe if you enjoyed the video, not already. I do have early access down below on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships if you're interested. Thank you as always to those who do support me. Genuinely thank you for just straight up giving you money. Thank you very, very much. It means I can do more of this, make a living out of it, and yeah, keep up with the schedule and everything. So genuinely thank you. It's insane that, you know, anyone would give me money for this kind of thing, but it's easy to take it for granted, but it does genuinely mean the world, so thank you. With that said, more Buffy coming soon. Please do consider watching any of these videos right here to keep the hype train going, but that's all from me this week. I hope you're well. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.